We saw the arrival of the 7'4" basketball alien known as Victor Wembanyama a year ago. This towering phenom is about to shake up the NBA next season even more. Imagine a player with the wingspan of a small aircraft, the agility of a point guard, and the shooting touch of a sniper. That's Wemby in a nutshell. He's not just tall, he's a basketball Swiss Army knife with limbs that seem to go on forever. We saw Wemby play last year. It was crazy. He's an extraterrestrial. His talent is primed to leave jaws on the floor and defenders questioning their career choices. The NBA is about to witness a seismic shift, and Wemby is the one holding the controller. Wemby's journey to the NBA has been nothing short of extraordinary. From dominating French leagues to becoming the most hyped prospect since LeBron James, this kid's got game. He's not just tall, he's a basketball Swiss Army knife with skills that make scouts drool. Why is he considered a generational talent? Simple. Wemby's got the height of a center, the agility of a guard, and a shooting touch that would make Steph Curry jealous. It's like someone created the perfect basketball player in a lab. In this video, we'll break down Wemby's rookie season, predict his sophomore surge, and explain why he's about to turn the NBA upside down. Wemby's first season was nothing short of spectacular. This 7'4" basketball alien took the league by storm, averaging a mind-boggling 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game. But wait, there's more. He led the entire NBA with 3.6 blocks per game. That's right, as a rookie. Now let's talk about some unforgettable moments. Remember that game against the Warriors when Wemby swatted Steph Curry's shot into the 5th row? The crowd went wild. Or how about that ridiculous 360 dunk against the Knicks that nearly broke the internet? Wemby was serving up highlight reels like they were going out of style. When it comes to rookie seasons, we've got to compare Wemby to the greats. While he didn't quite reach LeBron's rookie scoring average, his all-around impact was reminiscent of Tim Duncan's first year. But here's the kicker. Wemby's block numbers make both LeBron and Duncan's rookie seasons look like child's play. The fans and media, they couldn't get enough of this guy. Wemby. Wednesday became a thing on social media, with fans eagerly awaiting his next jaw-dropping performance. ESPN practically dedicated a channel to his highlights, and even the harshest critics had to admit this kid was something special. But perhaps the most telling reaction came from his peers. In an anonymous player poll, Wemby was voted as the league's best defender. As a rookie, it's like he walked into the NBA and said, "Thanks for the league, I'll take it from here." Moving on to Wemby's physical attributes, folks. This guy isn't just tall, he's a basketball Godzilla with a jump shot. Standing at a towering 7'4", Wemby makes most NBA centers look like they should be playing in a youth league. But it's not just his height that's impressive. This guy's got a wingspan that would make a Boeing 747 jealous, a ridiculous 8 feet. That's right, he can probably change a light bulb without a ladder. Now, you'd think someone this tall would move like a giraffe on roller skates, right? Wrong. Wemby's got the agility of a point guard trapped in the body of a skyscraper. It's like someone took Kevin Durant, stretched him out like silly putty, and gave him the coordination of a gymnast. Here's a fun comparison. If Godzilla could shoot threes and do crossovers, you'd have Wemby. He's basically a cheat code come to life. On the court, these physical traits translate to pure domination. His height and wingspan make him an unstoppable shot blocker. It's like trying to score over a human windmill. On offense, he can shoot over anyone, and his reach makes every rebound look like it's being served on a silver platter. In short, Wemby's not just changing the game, he's mutating it. Moving on to Wemby's offensive arsenal. And folks, it's like he's playing NBA 2K with cheat codes enabled. First up, his three-point shooting. In his rookie season, Wemby shot 32.5% from beyond the arc. Now, that might not sound earth-shattering, but remember, this guy is 7'4". He's shooting threes from so far up, he might need oxygen. And get this, after February, his accuracy improved to 35.1%. That's not just good for a big man, that's good for any player, period. Now, let's talk post moves and footwork. Wemby's footwork in the post is so smooth, it's like he's doing the cha-cha with defenders. He's got a spin move that would make ballerinas jealous, and a drop step that leaves opponents wondering if he teleported. It's like watching a 7-foot ballet dancer with a basketball. Ball handling skills? For a guy his size, Wemby handles the rock like it's a tennis ball. He's crossing up guards and leaving them in the dust. It's like someone took Kevin Durant's skills and stretched him out on a medieval torture rack. When it comes to playmaking and vision, Wemby's got eyes in the back of his head, and probably on top of it too, given his height. He averaged 3.9 assists per game as a rookie. That's not just good for a big man, that's point guard territory. Finally, let's talk scoring versatility. Inside, mid-range, perimeter, Wemby's got it all. He can dunk on you from the free throw line, hit a fadeaway jumper in your face, or drain a three from the logo. It's like he's got every shot in the book, plus a few chapters that haven't been written yet. Wemby's offensive arsenal isn't just impressive, it's downright unfair. The rest of the league might need to file a complaint with the NBA for letting this cheat code of a player loose on the courts. Now let's talk about Wemby's defensive dominance, because this kid's not just a scoring machine, he's a one-man wrecking crew on the other end of the court. Shot blocking. Wemby doesn't just block shots, he sends them into orbit. He led the entire NBA with 3.6 blocks per game as a rookie. That's not a typo. He was swatting shots like flies at a picnic. Remember that game against the Suns when he rejected 7 shots? It was like watching a volleyball match, except the ball kept ending up in the 5th row. But Wemby's not just a rim protector. This guy can lock down guards on the perimeter like he's got Inspector Gadget arms. His lateral quickness for a 7-footer is mind-boggling. He's out there making point guards look like they're trying to dribble through a forest of redwoods. When it comes to rebounding, Wemby's got more bounce than a kangaroo on a trampoline. He averaged 10.6 boards a game, using those Inspector Gadget arms to snag rebounds that other players can only dream of reaching. It's simple, just be taller and jumpier than everyone else. But what really sets Wemby apart is his defensive awareness. This kid's got a basketball IQ higher than his vertical leap. He's always in the right spot, anticipating plays like he's got a crystal ball hidden in his jersey. It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Wemby's not just a defensive player, he's a defensive force of nature. Opposing teams might as well start planning their offense around avoiding him entirely. But still, there are some things that Wemby can improve about his game, because even basketball aliens have room to grow. First up, strength and conditioning. Let's face it, Wemby's built like a stick figure drawn by a caffeinated toddler. At 220 pounds, he's practically a feather in NBA terms. The Spurs strength coaches are going to have their work cut out for them, turning this beanpole into a redwood. But hey, if they could bulk up Tim Duncan, they can work miracles with Wemby. Consistency is key, and right now, Wemby's game is about as consistent as a weather forecast in Texas. One night he's dropping 30, the next he's struggling to hit double digits. It's like watching a 7-4 roller coaster. Now, let's talk NBA physicality. Wemby is going to need to toughen up faster than a steak left out in the San Antonio sun. The NBA is a whole different ballgame, and those burly centers aren't going to go easy on our French phenom. As for pace, Wemby's got to get used to the NBA's breakneck speed. It's not just about keeping up, it's about thriving in the chaos. Lastly, free throw shooting. At 71.3%, he's not terrible, but there's definitely room for improvement. Come on, Wemby, those are free points. Then there's the Chris Paul effect. Chris Paul, aka CP3, isn't just a point guard, he's a basketball maestro. This guy's been orchestrating offenses like Mozart for nearly 2 decades. We're talking about an 11-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA selection, and the kind of leader who could probably get a group of Penguins to run a fast break. But here's the kicker. CP3 is joining forces with our basketball alien Wemby. It's like pairing a Jedi Master with a young Padawan who's already 7'4". Paul's basketball IQ is off the charts, and you can bet he's going to be in Wemby's ear, teaching him all the tricks of the trade. Now, imagine the pick and roll potential between these two. It's going to be more unfair than bringing a calculator to a math test. CP3's pinpoint passing and Wemby's ridiculous reach. Defenders are going to need a stepladder and a prayer. But it's not just about the highlight reels. Paul's presence is going to elevate the entire team's basketball IQ. He's like a walking, talking basketball encyclopedia, and you can bet Wemby's going to be soaking up every bit of knowledge. With CP3 running the show, expect to see Wemby in positions he never even knew existed. It's like unlocking cheat codes in a video game. Suddenly, Wemby's going to have access to a whole new level of play. The Chris Paul effect isn't just going to benefit Wemby, it's going to transform the entire Spurs team. This duo will definitely be taking us on one hell of a ride. Now let's talk about the Popovich factor, because if there's anyone who can turn Wemby from a basketball alien into a full-blown NBA superstar, it's the legendary Greg Popovich. Pop's not just a coach, he's a basketball Yoda with 5 championship rings. This guy's been molding NBA talent since before Wemby was even a twinkle in his father's eye. We're talking about a man who's seen more basketball than most of us have had hot dinners. When it comes to developing big men, Pop's got a track record that's shinier than a freshly waxed court. Remember a little-known player called Tim Duncan? Or how about David Robinson? Pop took these giants and turned them into NBA legends. It's like he's got a secret recipe for transforming tall guys into basketball demigods. Now, imagine what he's cooking up for Wemby. You can bet Pop's got a development plan tailored so precisely, it's like a custom-made suit for Wemby's 7'4" frame. We're talking skill drills, conditioning routines, and probably some Jedi mind tricks thrown in for good measure. But here's where Pop really earns his stripes, managing expectations and media pressure. With Wemby under the spotlight brighter than a supernova, Pop's gonna be like a basketball bouncer, keeping the hype in check and the vultures at bay. He's got more experience handling media circuses than a lion tamer at a 3-ring spectacle. In short, with Pop at the helm, Wemby's not just in good hands, he's in the basketball equivalent of Fort Knox. The rest of the league better watch out, because the Popovich-Wemby combo is about to take the NBA to school. Alright, let's go into Wemby's statistical crystal ball for year 2. And folks, it's looking shinier than a freshly waxed basketball court. First up, scoring. You better get ready, because Wemby's about to take us on a roller coaster ride to Bucket City. We're projecting his scoring average to jump to a cool 25 points per game. And efficiency? Let's just say he'll be shooting so well they might need to widen the rims. Now, rebounding and blocks. Remember how Wemby was swatting shots like flies at a picnic last year? Well, this season, he's upgrading to full-on volleyball mode. We're looking at 12 rebounds and 4 blocks per game. That's not just protecting the rim, that's building a force field around it. Assists and steals? Oh, you better believe those Inspector Gadget arms are going to work. We're predicting 4 assists and 1.5 steals per game. He'll be dishing and swiping like a 7.4 point guard. And for you stat nerds out there, we see you and we love you. Let's talk advanced metrics. We're projecting a PAR of 24, which is basically NBA 2K numbers in real life. As for win shares, let's just say Wemby's going to be single-handedly responsible for more W's than a spelling bee champion. Wemby's sophomore season is shaping up to be statistically ridiculous. The rest of the league might want to invest in some stepladders. So how is the league scrambling to deal with our basketball alien? Defending Wemby? Good luck with that. Teams are going to need a whole new playbook. We're talking about bringing in Cirque du Soleil performers just to simulate his wingspan in practice. Some coaches are considering stacking players on each other's shoulders. It's the only way to reach those shots. Now, let's talk rule changes. The NBA is considering a Wemby rule where any player over 7'4" has to wear moon boots to slow them down. They're also debating whether to raise the rim by a foot, but only when Wemby's on the court. It's like a basketball version of whack-a-mole. As for roster construction, teams are in a frenzy. GMs are scouring the globe for 8-foot-tall prospects. The Harlem Globetrotters are getting more calls than ever. We might see the return of the human ladder play, where smaller players climb up their teammates to block Wemby's shots. Coaches Coaches are losing sleep trying to figure out how to stop this guy. Some are considering revolutionary strategies like the Wemby zone, a defensive formation where all 5 players just focus on Wemby and pray the other Spurs don't score. Others are investing in trampoline shoes for their centers. It's basketball madness, folks. Wemby is simply turning the entire league upside down at this point. The NBA might never be the same again. Moving on to Wemby's All-Star and award potential, and folks, we might need to invent some new trophies for this guy. First up, All-Star selection. Let's be real, Wemby's got a better chance of making the All-Star team than I do of dunking on a 7-foot rim. With his highlight reel plays and alien-like abilities, fan voting is going to be through the roof. We might see the first unanimous All-Star selection since, well, ever. Now, Defensive Player of the Year? More like Defensive Player of the Decade. Wemby's swatting shots like he's playing whack-a-mole at the arcade. Opposing players might start wearing helmets just to drive the lane. Most Improved Player? Ha! That's like giving a growth spurt award to Godzilla. Wemby's already so good, he might break the improvement scale. And let's not forget about MVP. Sure, he's a dark horse candidate now, but so was Black Beauty, and look how that turned out. Don't be surprised if Wemby starts collecting MVP trophies like they're Pokemon cards. Wemby's not just gunning for awards, he's rewriting the whole dang trophy case. Let's compare his performance to other NBA legends and find out how much he stacks. When it comes to Tim Duncan parallels, Wemby's fundamentals are so solid, you'd think he was born wearing knee-high socks and practicing bank shots. His calm demeanor and leadership on the court are eerily reminiscent of the big fundamental himself. But here's the kicker. Wemby's averaging more blocks per game as a rookie, 3.4, than Duncan ever did in his entire career. Now let's talk Kevin Durant-like scoring potential. Wemby's got a shooting touch smoother than butter on a hot skillet. He's averaging 20.7 points per game as a rookie, which is right up there with KD's 20.3 in his first year. But here's the mind-blowing part. Wemby's doing this in just 29 minutes per game compared to Durant's 34.6. Talk about efficiency. Defensively, we're looking at Hakeem Olajuwon 2.0, folks. Wemby's shot blocking ability is so otherworldly, NASA's probably trying to recruit him for asteroid defense. He's leading the league in blocks per game, something the Dream did 9 times in his career. But what truly sets Wemby apart is his unicorn-like combination of size, skill, and mobility. We're talking about a 7'4" giant who can handle the ball like a guard, shoot threes, and protect the rim like a force field. It's like someone took the best attributes of Duncan, Durant, and Olajuwon, mixed them in a lab, and out popped Wemby. Moving on to Wemby's off-court impact, and boy is it impactful. First up, jersey sales. Buckle up, because Wemby's jerseys are flying off the shelves faster than he swats shots. We're talking numbers that'll make cash registers sing and accountants dance. This kid's not just selling jerseys, he's printing money. But Wemby's not just a walking cash machine. He's a global ambassador on stilts. The NBA's been trying to crack the European market for years, and now they've got a 7.4 key. He's not just representing the Spurs, he's repping the entire league and doing it with more style than a Paris fashion show. Now, let's talk social media. Wemby's got more followers than most countries have people. His every move becomes a meme faster than you can say alien basketball skills. He sneezes and it trends worldwide. He blinks and it breaks the internet. And France? Oh boy, France is going basketball crazy. They've swapped berets for basketball caps and croissants for courtside seats. Wemby's not just a player, he's a national hero. He's doing for French basketball what the Eiffel Tower did for iron. The NBA's got itself a 7.4 marketing goldmine, and they're going to ride this Wemby wave all the way to the bank. Let's talk about the hurdles our basketball alien is going to face in his sophomore season. Buckle up, because Wemby's got more challenges than a Rubik's Cube in a blender. First up, defensive attention. Now that the league's had a taste of Wemby's otherworldly skills, you can bet your bottom dollar that every team's going to be game planning for him like he's the final boss in a video game. Coaches are probably losing sleep trying to figure out how to stop a guy who can shoot over skyscrapers and block shots from the parking lot. But here's the kicker. Wemby's got to avoid that dreaded sophomore slump. It's like trying to make lightning strike twice, but with a 7'4" lightning rod. He's got to keep that rookie fire burning hotter than a Texas summer. Now, balancing team success with individual growth, that's trickier than a tightrope walk over the Grand Canyon. Wemby's got to feed his stats while making sure the Spurs aren't just the Wemby show with a supporting cast. And let's not forget the media circus. With more cameras on him than a Hollywood red carpet, Wemby's going to need nerves of steel and a sense of humor sharper than his elbow jumper. Every move, every shot, every sneeze is going to be analyzed more than a CSI crime scene. What about the Spurs' playoff aspirations? Because with Wemby on board, things are about to get spicy in San Antonio. First off, the Western Conference is tougher than a $2 steak. We've got the Nuggets defending their crown, the Warriors still have their Splash Brothers, and the Suns are cooking with KD. But here's the kicker. None of them have a 7'4" alien on their roster. Wemby's role in a playoff push? He's not just a player, he's a one-man wrecking crew. Imagine trying to game plan for a guy who can swat your shots into next week, then turn around and drain threes like he's playing Pop-A-Shot. Good luck, opposing coaches. Now, are the Spurs dark horse contenders? You bet your bottom dollar they are. With Wemby leading the charge, they're like a stealth bomber. You won't see them coming until it's too late. Looking at the long-term championship window, it's not just open, it's blown wide open. Wemby's only 20, folks. By the time he hits his prime, he might be able to touch both rims without jumping. In short, the Spurs aren't just knocking on the playoff door, they're about to kick it down with a 74 battering ram named Wemby. The rest of the league better be prepared for this, because the Spurs are coming and they're bringing a secret weapon from outer space. Let's gaze into our crystal ball and see what the future holds for our favorite basketball alien. Hall of Fame potential. Please, Wemby's probably already got his speech written. With his unique skill set, and otherworldly abilities, he's not just knocking on the hall's door, he's ready to bust it down with his 8-foot wingspan. The requirements? Just keep doing what he's doing, and maybe they'll rename it the Hall of Wemby by the time he's done. Multiple MVPs? It's not a question of if, but how many. We're talking about a guy who could potentially lead the league in points, rebounds, and blocks. The last time someone did that? Never. Wemby's not just chasing history, he's rewriting it with every alien-like performance. Championship aspirations? The Spurs are probably already polishing a spot in their trophy case. With Wemby as the centerpiece, they're not just building a team, they're constructing a basketball Death Star. Opposing teams might as well start practicing their "it's an honor just to lose to Wemby" speeches now. As for records, buckle up, because Wemby's about to treat the NBA record book like a game of whack-a-mole. Most blocks in a season, consider it shattered. 3-pointers by a 7-footer? Child's play. He might even break a few records we haven't invented yet. Wemby's career trajectory isn't just pointing up, it's aiming for the stars. The rest of the league better start building their spaceships if they want to keep up. Wemby's about to flip the basketball world on its head. Positionless basketball? Ha! With Wemby on the court, we're entering the era of Wemby ball. This guy's not just breaking the mold, he's obliterating it. He's a 7.4 guard-forward center alien hybrid who's about to make position labels as outdated as flip phones. Aspiring big men around the world are watching Wemby and thinking, wait, I can dribble and shoot threes? It's like he's unlocked a cheat code for tall people everywhere. We're about to see a generation of stretchy, versatile giants who think they're point guards. The future of basketball is going to look like a forest of skilled sequoias. As for the center position, Wemby's redefining it faster than you can say pick and roll. Traditional centers are sweating bullets, realizing they need to start practicing their crossovers and step-back threes. It's evolve or extinct, baby. And youth basketball training, coaches are scrambling to update their playbooks. Okay, kids, today we're going to practice our 7-foot Euro steps and behind-the-back passes. It's a brave new world out there, and Wemby's leading the charge. In conclusion, Wemby's not just joining the NBA, he's revolutionizing it. He's a basketball tsunami, ready to wash away old conventions and usher in a new era of hoops. The upcoming season? It's going to be wilder than a rodeo on Mars. And here's a final prediction. Wemby's going to record the first quadruple-double in NBA history. Points, rebounds, blocks, and opponents left scratching their heads. The Wemby show is about to begin, and it's going to be out of this world.